The Oklahoma Marriage Initiative has partnered with News 9 in Oklahoma City and News on 6 in Tulsa to select the most inspiring couples in the state. Viewers of News 9 and News on 6 selected the two winning couples. Our couples have lived out their wedding vows and their commitment to each other despite some of the most difficult challenges families can face. Through their challenges and accomplishments, they have learned the secrets of creating and maintaining strong, stable, healthy, enjoyable, lifelong marriages. When Nick and Amber Madewell began dating, Amber entered the relationship cautiously protective of her 3-year-old daughter, who was born with a rare metabolic disorder that forced her to be hospitalized several times a year for up to weeks at a time.
The first thing I always did was I would make sure that person knew that I had a daughter. Not only did I have a daughter, but I had a daughter with special needs. And we sat down, I remember sitting down at the table, and the first thing he says to me is not, "So how's your day been?" He said, "I want to know all about your daughter." And I was like, whoa, this is different, because you would tell somebody about her and they didn't want to talk about her. I mean, it was enough, And so when he inquired about her, I was just like, this is incredible. This guy, where did he come from?
Nick quickly embraced both Amber and Callie, without hesitation accepting the challenges common to a family raising a child with special needs.
It was on our second date. She made me dinner so I could meet Callie and stuff. And I talked to her for 45 minutes and she just stared at me like, "Why are you talking to me?"
I finally said, "Nick, she can't talk." And he was like, "Well, she can understand me." And I was like, wow. Because being the mother and the caregiver, my main thing was I always needed to make sure this was done, this was done. I talked to my daughter, yes, but he got on her level. And that was really just remarkable for me.
The couple passed on their honeymoon, choosing instead to take Callie to a specialist at the National Institute of Health in Maryland. 2 years later, Amber gave birth to Hudson, who was born with severe hearing loss, forcing the couple to again address the challenges presented by a child with special needs. The Madewells faced their most difficult trial last summer when Callie's health turned worse and the couple had to deal with their daughter's death. Through it all, Nick and Amber continually have grown closer, facing their challenges together with healthy doses of both faith and humor.
When it gets frustrating, we just sit there and we talk, we cry, we laugh. We go on for a couple more weeks and it gets rough again and we just repeat it over and over.
I've had a lot of people tell us a lot of couples, don't make it through, especially as kids, they don't make it through all this, 2 kids having special needs, they don't make it through death and everything else. But every time I look at him, I'm reminded of why I fell in love with him. You go through these hard times and you learn from them. We learn from them, and that's exactly what we do. Every time we sit down and we discuss something, we take something away from it that's good.
I'll come home, first thing I do is tell my boy I love him and give him a kiss, and then I'll go in there and while she's making dinner, even though she don't want to, I grab her and I dance. And then I sing to her every morning.
John and Bonnie Kruger lied to the county clerk and were married when she was just 15 and he was 19. 54 years later, the couple still lives at the Blanchard home John built with his own hands, and they enjoy playing host to more than 30 children and grandchildren at holidays and other family gatherings.
County clerk, she just asked, "Are you 18?" And I said, "Yes," and shook my head, or just nodded my head, and then she looked at him and said, "And you're 18?" And she wanted to see proof from him, and he said he didn't have his driver's license with him. It was in the car. So she just wrote down on there that he was 18, but he was actually 19.
The Krugers have faced numerous ups and downs in their life together, including a heart attack and a cancer diagnosis. But they were forced to deal with their most difficult challenge when their oldest son was killed in 1990.
I said, I have to go on. I have other children and grandchildren, and I don't have any other choice just to see how it's going to work out.
John and Bonnie have modeled a healthy and inspirational marriage, holding to their unwavering love and commitment to each other, their children, and their grandchildren.
I think trust is the most important thing, and they have to not want everything immediately. That's where I see so many young people fail, because they want the newest house, the newest car, the newest everything. And then they're broke, and then they start squabbling.
Don't go head over heels in debt. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't charge it. We probably had as much problems as anyone about finances, because when you're young, a house full of kids, you just scrape by. And we, like others, went into debt. And once we were able to get out of it, things smoothed out, you know.
Know that this too shall pass. And that's what bothers me so much about watching the young people. They just want to leave each other at the first little spat. You just can't do that. You know, you've got to work through it, because if you leave this marriage, the next one's not going to be any better. Usually.
We've had our ups and downs, no doubt about it, but we've been able to work them out, you know, work through them.